What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this 2022 BMW X5. Big shout out and thank you to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this new X5 for today's video. Definitely take a look at their website linked down below. And the model that we're looking at today is the xDrive40i, finished off in Phytonic Blue Metallic, has the M Sport package and an MSRP at $75,400. Underneath the hood of this BMW X5, you're going to find the 3-liter inline 6-cylinder turbocharged engine. It pumps out 335 horsepower with 330 pound-feet of torque. The engine is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission and also features an 11 horsepower mild hybrid system. This is an all-wheel drive SUV weighing in around 4,800 pounds and running on a 21.9 gallon fuel tank. You can expect miles per gallon to be 21 in the city with 25 out on the highway. It also has max towing capacity at 6,600 pounds and payload capacity just over 1,000 pounds. The overall length is 194.3 inches with wheelbase at 117.1. Height comes in at 68.7 inches with width at 78.9, and then minimum ground clearance is 8.7 inches. And then now moving on to the exterior styling with the BMW X5. This is a very sharp looking family SUV, especially with all the black accents from that M Sport package. You can see we get LED headlights that also feature an LED daytime running light, and they have a smoked out housing. I really like all these sharp lines within the front bumper, and you can see the gloss black trim on the farthest sides. You can see a massive opening for one of the radiators, as well as a cutout to allow air to pass through the front bumper. You're also going to see a massive opening in the lower side of this front bumper to allow even more airflow. You can see it even features active grille shutters to improve efficiency when needed. I love all that gloss black. We get the massive kidney-shaped grills up top, all finished off in gloss black. You can also see the active shutters. It gets a front view camera, and then the entire surround is also gloss black. You can see all these sharp lines coming together, and I like how the hood has more sharp lines. The BMW logo is right in the center, and the lines go all the way towards the windshield. Really is a sporty looking SUV from the front. This features a set of 22-inch gloss black wheels finished off in a multi-spoke design. We even get the Brembo brake caliper up front finished off in that BMW blue. Really good contrast, especially with the darker blue paint. You can even see a body colored fender flare with more sharp lines around it. We get a cool trim piece behind that with some more gloss black trim, then a sharp line cutting its way all the way through the side profile. There's another sharp line cutting through the center portions of the doors, going up towards the rear door handles. These are body colored door handles with body colored mirror caps, and then all gloss black underneath that with the LED turn signal as well as a side view camera. You can also see all the gloss black trim running around the windows to give it that blacked out theme, and then we get a panoramic roof up top with gloss black rails. Taking a look at the side profile, I've always loved the X5s. They just look so proportional. It's a bigger sized SUV, and yet it feels sporty and athletic. You see these sharp lines cutting towards the taillights, and a really cool design. They're more of a three-dimensional look. You see the red as well as the clear housings. You get a body colored spoiler up top with your third brake light mounted there. You can see the windshield wiper right in the center, then your BMW logo as well as a backup camera. X5 badges on the left with xDrive40i over on the right, and you get a ton of really sharp body lines all throughout the rear end. I like the gloss gray trim you're going to see in the bumper, along with the dual exhaust with black tips. There's parking sensors, and then some sharp fins in the center portion of the rear bumper. So there's a good look at the exterior with the 2022 X5. I love the way these SUVs look, especially with the M Sport package. It really comes alive, and it's a sporty looking family SUV. So we got BMW's key fob, pretty basic, what you would expect. If I lock the vehicle using that BMW button, I can just grab the door handle, it'll automatically unlock, and we can check out this interior. This particular spec gets the black Vernasca leather interior with silver trim all around. If we go ahead and take a look at the door panel, finished off all in black, you can see some nice contrast stitching all throughout it, some good padding on your armrests. We get your grab handle as well as window controls, mirror controls, as well as the tailgate release. We get the release handle, lock and unlock, and then your memory seating control, a little bit of ambient lighting within the door, and then a huge storage area down below. We do get the M Sport package logo right in that door sill that is illuminated. Then you can see all of your power controls on the side of the seat. We get lumbar support, bolster support, and then you can even manually grab this and extend your leg rest. You get a really cool stitching design all throughout this seat. Very comfortable looking already. A really nice design all the way up to the headrests. You can see we also get a black leather steering wheel with some stitching and silver trim. And then now inside the X5, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. The X5 utilizes a massive LCD screen for the gauge cluster. You can see the speedo on the left with fuel, then you also get your tach as well as engine temperature and battery on the right. There is a fixed navigation screen right in the center, and when you adjust your different drive modes, it'll also adjust what you see on the screen. In the Eco Pro mode, you now get an MPG gauge, back into comfort, then the Sport mode gets a full tach with a little bit more aggressive look. If we take a look at the steering wheel now, you can see that leather design with the BMW logo, all of your cruise control settings on the left, the heated button right in the center, and some Bluetooth and audio controls to the right. We also get some steering wheel mounted paddle shifters that have a pretty nice look and feel to them. We also get a turn signal stalk on the left, and that BC icon, you can toggle it and see a few different things that'll pop up within the gauge cluster. And of course, when navigation is running, you will get turn-by-turn directions. We get the windshield wiper stalk over on the right side. You can see all of your headlight controls down below with interior lighting. You get your air vent over on the left side, heads-up display right in the center of the dashboard, and then all black with a little bit of contrast stitching running through the dash. We get this really cool aluminum design on this plastic trim, then a massive infotainment screen. On this main screen right now, you can swipe left and right and see all sorts of different information. We have your media icon that'll come up over on this left side. You also have your connectivity for all your phone integration, a massive navigation screen, very snappy to use everything. We also have the car icon where you can adjust a few different settings within the vehicle, driving information. You can even see some sport displays, which is a pretty cool touch. And then going down into our apps, we have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and then a few more things that will come up. If we go ahead and take this SUV and put us into reverse, you can see the backup camera on the left with a top down over on the right. You can also tap this icon, go to your 3D view, and I love how it does give you a full image of your car in the same color. So really easy to adjust everything. I can go ahead and put the car into drive. You can see how the guidelines will change and then put us back into park. If I go ahead and tap this icon down below, this is all of your intelligent safety. You can adjust your forward collision, lane departure, and more settings. Then you can just toggle that to get out of it. We do get an LCD screen for all of your climate control. We get dual zone fan speed as well as temperature. You can see your menu AC button. You can adjust that on and off. It will also come up here to sync the airflow and make more adjustments. We have your heated seats on the left and right, and a few more controls for all the climate. Then you can see some radio controls down below that. Then you can press this up and get it out of the way. We get two cup holders, a USB as well as a 12 volt, a spot for the smart key to use as a key fob, and then a little bit of storage. Go ahead and closing that, you can get a good look at how the whole center console looks. We get this really cool piano black design, shortcuts for traction control, camera as well as parking sensors, all of those drive modes. You have your park and brake. Then this rotary dial over on this right side actually controls the screen. You can tap the button and really adjust what you want to see and not just use the touch screen down below. So really cool the way everything is set up. I just like how user friendly it is. Behind the rotary dial we have our armrest. It does open up in two different ways. You can see inside we have a pretty good amount of storage space, and then I just love how you can close it separately like that. If we move over to the glove box, you get a ton of space in here as you would expect. You can also see just a little bit of the ambient lighting under there. And then one last look at the interior. BMW does a really good job just making these look nice and simple. Very elegant design on this whole interior. And this particular spec, we get a full Alcantara headliner, has a really premium look. You can see the massive panoramic roof with the sunshade closed. All those controls are up in the center with LED dome lights. Then you can see our mirror. And then moving on to the rear seat space, if I grab the door handle and open it up, the rear door panel is finished off just like we saw up front, and we even get the addition of a manual sunshade. Taking a look in back, this can seat 3 people back here. You get the same design for all the leather along the seats, storage areas behind the seats, even a spot for tablets with charging. You do get your own climate controls with vents, and then you can see a little bit of storage down there. The headrest will also move out of the way for better driver visibility. And then if you take a look in the center, we can pull this down and we get a storage area in back, and then up front we get 2 nice cup holders. So then sitting now in the back seat of this BMW X5. So I'm 5'11". I am sitting here really comfortably. Now there's no reclining anymore in this SUV, but honestly it's at a pretty good angle to where I'm pretty comfortable. Good armrest on the door. And then let's pull this one back down. And of course you have a pretty nice armrest right in the center. Of course, if we opened up the panoramic roof, you get all the light inside. I do like how we get LED dome lights. You get hooks as well as handles on the far left and right side, and plenty of legroom and knee room even with this seat set at my height. And then moving on to the storage area, you can tap the button on the key fob, press the one inside, or there is one underneath that BMW logo. The upper portion of this liftgate is gonna open up so you can see a really good view inside. However, then you just press this button, it'll unlock that and automatically open up the tailgate section. Very cool design. You don't see this in too many SUVs, having a split design. Underneath the floor, you can grab this, open it up. It does have a gas strut. We get a full-size spare tire in here and a little bit of extra storage. Closing that down, you can see a little bit of a cutout on this right side, and it's a very squared off interior. You can see we have a privacy cover up top. Then if you grab those latches, you can then manually fold down the rear seats to get even more cargo space. If we go in through these doors, you still get a ton of space all up in front. They lock nearly flat, and there's a huge opening into the trunk area to where this is an extremely practical and useful SUV. And then to go ahead and close up the entire rear area, you can just press this button up top and it's gonna automatically close the bottom and the top all together. All right, so we are setting off now in the X5. To be honest, this is one of my most favorite SUVs. I feel like you just get everything you could want in an SUV. It can tow a ton. It is so comfortable in here as a driver, of course, as a passenger. It is nice and up high. You get a really good view around you, and it's just a solid feeling SUV to drive. There's no loose ends with it. In Eco Pro mode, just kind of driving normal, I mean, it is just comfortable and relaxing as you would expect from a car like this. And I really like how you just have a huge windshield, really good visibility over all your shoulders. I mean, really no blind spots. It's just an easy car to use. I really like the fit and finish. It feels like it's a premium vehicle, as it should. So then if we go into comfort mode, it gets a little bit more normal to drive. The throttle response is now what you would expect. You know, you give it a little bit of gas and it starts to accelerate. But then I really like, even with the 6-cylinder, this is more of the basic drivetrain layout. If we go into the sport mode, it actually does pack a nice little punch. It's not crazy fast. Of course, you can get the M50i, get the V8 in it, or of course get the M. But with this, it accelerates. I mean, it's peppy. It'll get up to speed. You don't have to worry about feeling like you're in anything sluggish. So I like how BMW powers their cars to be adequate. You don't have anything that you're like needing. It's not like it's missing enough power. The 8-speed is also really responsive. When you shift it, it shifts. It does exactly what you want. It's just a really smooth, good to drive car. I also like how simple everything is. It's just basic and normal. It's just a nice normal vehicle, and yet you get all the refinements, the technology, the safety features that make this stand out to be a really, really nice SUV. So then flipping now to my perspective with the X5, like I said, this is a roomy SUV. You have all sorts of controls for the seat to really get it in the perfect position. I'm 5'11", sitting here, plenty of headroom, plenty of arm room, and I can move the seat lower, farther back, do whatever I want. It's a really good SUV. I think just BMW knocks it out of the park with this. I've been in obviously a ton of different SUVs that compete with this, and the X5 always seems to stand out, mainly because I feel like BMW gives you the fun to drive aspects in this. Even with this one being more of a basic power plant with the smaller engine, because you have the bigger brakes, of course, the M Sport package and all that, it still gives you that performance feel to where it's a fun to drive SUV. It's not just a boring, you know, mom or dad car. It's something that you can actually kind of enjoy. You can very quickly go into the sport mode and manual, and all of a sudden throttle response livens up, the power livens up, transmission's nice and sharp. You can actually hear a little bit of the turbo under there. That is cool. And of course, like I said, you can get the bigger engines in this. But this one is a little bit more on the cost-effective side. Of course, it's got a nice price tag being a luxury brand, but this one you really can't go wrong with because you got plenty of power to get up to speed, but you can still enjoy it and feel like you're in something that is meant to be driven, and it's not just a robot on wheels with every single little feature that's adjustable. BMW kind of keeps it simple. You know, their interior hasn't really changed. It's pretty much the same thing across the board. I do like the extra touches though, like dual fan speed and temperature. You don't normally see dual fan speed. I think that's a big plus, and I don't think I've seen it in any other brand, so that's really cool that BMW gives you that. But this is a kind of SUV that you can just kind of sit back and drive, and then when you want to enjoy driving, you know, turn a little bit, have some fun with it, even this one still gives you that. But not really anything to complain about. You know, I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but it's just a nice SUV. It has everything. It really does tick all the boxes. Only downsides, I think from 2021 or 22 and up, you don't get reclining rear seats anymore. They've taken that away. That's kind of a dumb thing to take out. I think that would be nice to have. And I don't think they've really taken out anything else. There's no wireless phone charging, maybe a few other things that it's missing compared to older years. But with, of course, today's market, you gotta do what you gotta do. But overall, it's just a nice SUV to drive in, and I think you get plenty of storage space in it, plenty of capabilities, even if you're going off-roading a little bit, going on like a camping trip. You can go off-road, hit the trails, you have ground clearance in the all-wheel drive system, the towing capacity. So it really can do everything, and I think with BMW's spectrum of what they offer for the X5, you can really get one that fits your lifestyle. They really do have it to where, there's kind of one for everybody. So I like that aspect. So I think BMW nails it with the X5, one of my favorites, like I said. Unfortunately, that is it then for today's review of this 2022 X5, the xDrive40i. Very cool SUV, and I love the M Sport package. You gotta get that. It adds that fun factor for sure. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come. And then a big shout out and thank you once again to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this SUV for today's video. Take a look at their website linked below. They have a huge selection of new BMWs, so definitely check them out. That is it, guys. I'll see you in the next video.